Hey there! Welcome to this episode of Sensible Home Cooking. I'm Ken and this is my Sensible Home Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a staple of any of the sugar-free desserts that I make, and that is the topping. And this particular topping is a cross between a caramel sauce and an icing sugar. And the great thing about it is you can add any flavor to it you want. And I'm going to do two of them today. I'm going to do a cinnamon flavor and a chocolate flavor. All right, let's take a look and see what ingredients we're going to need for this recipe. As always, I've got the recipe stored here on my old Magnavox word processor. And if this is something that you're interested in, you can check out my other channel, Canadian Retro Things, to have a look at some of the other retro equipment that I own. Now for this recipe, we're going to need 1/3 of a cup of butter, 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of your sweetener of choice, and 1 teaspoon of flavoring. In this case, it's going to be 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and for the other one, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder. All right, let's get cooking. I've got all of the ingredients pre-measured here. So I've got 2 sticks of butter, each of about 1/3 of a cup. I've got 2/3 a cup of heavy cream times 2. I've got 3 tablespoons of sweetener times 2. In this case, I'm using just regular Splenda. I've got my vanilla extract, cinnamon, and cocoa powder. So the first thing we have to do is combine the butter and the sweetener in the saucepan. So let's turn the heat on and start that up. My 2 saucepans have started to heat up. So now we will add the butter. And the sweetener. And we'll just gently move that around until it's melted. Now you want to turn this to a golden brown color. Okay, the butter is just starting to change color. So it's time to add the cream. Now that you have the cream added, you want to bring it up to a simmer and let it thicken until it will coat the back of a spoon. Once it reaches that point, you add your cinnamon and cocoa powder, take it off the heat, and then stir in the vanilla extract. Don't want to let it boil too much, so got to control the heat on both of these. One thing about this recipe, if you want it a little bit more caramelized, the thing to do is to brown the butter a little bit more. So I've been simmering this for about 5 minutes, stirring quite a bit on both of them. It looks like it needs about another minute or 2. As soon as it can nicely coat the back of a spoon, it's ready to add the cocoa powder and the cinnamon. It's been about 7 or 8 minutes, and As you can see, it's nicely coating the back of the spoon. So I've turned the heat off on both of these. And it is now time to add a teaspoon of flavor to each of them. We'll start with the cocoa powder. A good sized teaspoon. And we just mix that in. Good. Now the cinnamon. Mix that in good. Now the vanilla extract. And one thing about this, it will thicken up as it cools. So now we'll just move it right away from the heat sources and let it cool. So I've let the sauces cool down, and then I put them in these plastic cups. Now I just have to put some cellophane over top and put them in the fridge, and they're good for about 2 to 3 weeks. Once they're in the fridge, they'll turn to the consistency of about icing. So I'm going to try the chocolate one. It's thickening up. It's not nearly as thick as it's going to get, but it is thickening up. Oh, that is creamy and chocolatey and sugar-free. It's delicious. And it will go good on anything you would put chocolate icing on. And this one will go good on anything you would put cinnamon icing on. And if you don't put anything in it, it just has a regular icing flavor. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can hit the like, you can hit the subscribe, you can comment below. So I've got nothing else to say, so I guess see you next time.